You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. On the show Tuesday, we talked about Dwight McGlothern transferring out of LSU, and we sort of ran through the numbers in the defensive backfield about how thin they were, how precarious the situation is. And minutes after we got off air, LSU added 2 transfers in the defensive backfield. ULL cornerback Makai Garner and Arkansas defensive back Joe Foucha. It is worth pointing out because some of the reaction was, man, this thing moves so fast. Look at the timing. LSU, you put that video out there, and then LSU, or that segment out there, and LSU adds corners. It is worth noting that during the segment yesterday, we did talk about both Gardner and, well, Brooks from Arkansas was another one because it's another guy that they're anticipating potentially getting before they even got Foucha. But either Greg Brooks, but either way. So we did include those guys in the conversation yesterday, but they're far from finished. Let's take these one at a time. We'll start with Joe Foucha from Arkansas. So if you're not familiar with the backstory, Joe Foucha is from New Orleans, went to McDonough 35, was a 3-star, did not have a committable offer from LSU. Went to Arkansas in the class of 2018, played in 9 games as a freshman in 2018, started once, started 12 games in 2019. In the COVID year, a year ago, he played 8 games, started 8 games. And then this year started 12 of the 13 games that they played. He missed 1 game this year. So he has played a ton of football, and he is taking advantage of the extra year, and he's coming home. Kid from New Orleans who went to Arkansas. He's been there for 4 years. Now here's his chance to finish off his career in his home state at the home state school at LSU. LSU has lost 4 cornerbacks in this offseason. Stingley, Ricks, Flott, McGlothern. 4 cornerbacks. The thing about Foucha is that he doesn't really fix that problem because he's a safety. In 2018, he started 9 games at free safety. 2019, he was a free safety. And then the past 2 years, he was a boundary safety. So he's not a cornerback. He's a safety. Could they play it? He's 5'11", 205. Could they play him at corner? Maybe. But I'd almost be inclined to say, man, I'd rather you kick Jay Ward from safety back to corner because you know he can play there. And Sage Ryan is already sort of your nickel safety role. So I don't know where Foucha fits, but a guy with SEC experience and a ton of it, figure it out. Like, find a spot for that guy. If not in the starting lineup, a way to get him rotational snaps on the field. But that's a guy that was also a team captain at Arkansas. Typically when you see transfers, what we're talking about are guys that are looking for greener pastures. Either guys that aren't playing that are looking for more playing time, or guys that are on bad teams looking to go to a winning team. Well, Arkansas was a better team than LSU this year. I mean, I know LSU beat them, but Arkansas, I mean, y'all, they went to a New Year's Day bowl game and won it. They finished the season ranked 20th. LSU went 6-7 and was unranked. And it ain't like Foucha wasn't playing. He's a 4-year starter, 3-year starter, and a team captain. So this just goes to show you something that I have mentioned in the NIL time and is going to keep illustrating itself. There are some guys from Louisiana who are just going to want to play at LSU regardless of any NIL opportunity or whatever. And Foucha apparently is one of those guys. The big question really is, how do you work the numbers? Because now you have numbers at safety. I mean, Jay Ward, Major Burns, they're both back. Sage Ryan, we mentioned, sort of the nickel safety role. Jordan Tolles, Davis, Langlois. I mean, you've got bodies there at safety now. So how do you figure out all the roles to make it all work? That's what we'll see here in time. But so Foucha commits to LSU, and they also get a pledge to the Tigers from ULL cornerback Makai Garner. The most interesting part of Makai Gardner's tweet that he put out there, noting that he was leaving ULL for LSU, is, and remember, this kid from Texas, started his career at JUCO. He was a no-star recruit. Mekhi Garner, coming out of high school, had no recruiting ranking. So he went JUCO, was at JUCO for a couple of years, went from JUCO to ULL, where he's been now for the past couple of years. So, I guess he got there in 19. So, in 19, 20, and 21, so 3 seasons there at ULL. And he's a redshirt sophomore, so he's got the extra COVID year. But Mekhi Garner tweeted, "New beginnings, new era." And in the note that he wrote, he said, "I'm very appreciative of everyone at ULL that has helped me during my time there. I'll never forget the memories and blah, 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 blah." But you have a player on the team calling it ULL. So all you pesky Cajun fans that get mad at me for calling you what you are, you can get mad at your own player now as well, who's leaving you for greener pastures. Here's the thing about Mekhi Garner. Somebody did on social media message me last night and said, "Oh, it's an upgrade over McGlothern." Slow down. Okay, hold on. Dwight McGlothern is a 6'2" pterodactyl who became a starter when Stingley got hurt and made you really forget about Derek Stingley for the second half of the year. He was a 4-star from Texas, and he's going to go to another major, if it's A&M or Florida, wherever he goes, I don't know. But McGlothern, he'll be a first-round NFL pick, or certainly if not a first-round pick, a high second-round pick. McGlothern this isn't even a comp. Okay, please don't try to push that out there. Now, Garner is a big kid, 6'2", 217, so he's got the prototypical size, and he's got experience. He's played in 26 career games, and McGlothern had played in 17. So he does have more experience. Let's see if he can make the step up in competition and transition seamlessly. This is not something that everyone's been able to do. Remember, Darren Evans came here from Nichols, and it just didn't work for him. So I'll get it. That's an FCS school. This is group of 5 school at ULL. Let's see how that transition goes. And it's interesting because he's kind of taken this just crazy route from being a no-star recruit to going JUCO to ULL, now to LSU. I mean, it's just an amazing trajectory. He has taken those stair steps. It's almost like in the NFL, if you were an undrafted free agent, you go from undrafted free agent to making the practice squad to becoming a special teams player and a backup to then being a Pro Bowler. That's kind of the path he's followed. So congrats to Mekhi Garner on this opportunity. Again, as a redshirt sophomore, he's got a couple of years left now at LSU that he could play. Having started his career at JUCO and now taking advantage of the redshirt season, and then obviously he has the COVID year that everyone has from 2020. So he could potentially be a multi-year player at LSU. But Brian Kelly told you he was going to have to rebuild this roster through the portal. They've already added Miles Frazier, the offensive lineman. They've added a long snapper. Now you add a couple of defensive backs, and they are far from finished, y'all. They need receivers. They need tight ends. They need linebackers. They need more DBs. They are going to rebuild this roster through the transfer portal. They're just getting started. So Joe Foucha and Mekhi Garner, a couple of defensive backs added for 2022 for the LSU Tigers. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.